Stop selling the fact that you're an accountant, or stop selling your title as such, and start selling your solution.
It's about stop selling what you do and start working with what's the outcome, how will people feel, and who do they become. Get that right, and you'll really start to set yourself apart out in the marketplace, and people will start coming to you. There's less of a chase going on in terms of what you do from a marketing perspective, and more people coming and seeking you. Nobody's going to come and seek a bookkeeper, but someone's going to come looking for someone who's going to take away all this stress and give them that lifestyle back.
If you want more time, money, freedom, and have a business that's not reliant on you, then you're in the right place. Each week, Mark Creedon, along with some of the very best business minds in the world, will take you through simple, practical steps you can take to create the business you always wanted. From his own practical experience, Mark will show you how to work less, make more, and get the business you always wanted, the one that you deserve. Now here's your host, one of Australia's most sought-after business coaches, Mark Creedon.
Welcome to the latest edition of the Family and Business Podcast, where we help you in your family business to scale your business and have a business that's a lot less reliant on you. Caroline, we're going to be talking today about your true product. Hey, Caroline.
Oh, hi, Mark. We've had some really interesting starts.
We have had a couple of little interesting starts, but that's okay. So let's talk about this, right? And in this episode, I want to talk to you about what is the true product that you sell. Stick around if you're sitting there thinking, I know what I sell, thank you very much. Hang about, because I don't reckon you do, and I reckon that the answer that you're going to hear about what it is that you sell is going to be very different to what you think, and it's going to show you how to actually, build your business and make it much easier to bring business in. I think, Caroline, that most people don't really know what they sell.
Agreed.
Right, so they go,
agreed.
I'm an accountant.
Yeah, I'm an accountant. I'm a builder. I'm a dentist.
Yep.
Whatever it might be.
Okay, but let's look about that. What's wrong with that? Like, so what if I go, okay, so I'm a business coach. There you go, I'm a business coach. What's wrong with that? That's what I do, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. You're selling what you do. You're actually not selling what people actually want to buy, what solution and transformation they want to buy.
Love it, 100%. And so let's use some real world examples. We've worked with family-owned mortgage broking businesses over the years. We've taken some of them to number one, number two in their group, if you like. But I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and looks out the window and goes, what a beautiful, cracking, beautiful day. I think I'm going to go get $1 million mortgage and tie myself up for the next 25 years with a loan. In other words, nobody goes out to buy a mortgage.
No.
Right? No, they don't.
No, they don't.
So, and yet I always find people go out and say, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm John Smith Broking. I sell mortgages.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to buy a mortgage.
No, I don't.
Right? So what
I don't want a mortgage, but I want the investment.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's exactly what it's about. So this is about how you portray what it is, or how you put the message out around what it is that you sell, right? So this is around how you market. Because if you don't do this, the risk is that you just blend in.
Yeah.
Become part of the noise. And then you work really hard because you end up being unique just like everybody else.
Same.
Yeah.
I think where the shift is that it's not about necessarily the service, but it's about the want. What do they want? They want, depending on what your product is and what you're selling, they want clarity. Do they want less stress? Do they want things to be handled and worked out for them? The solution that they want. What is it that they want?
Right. So, because I think that what people want, Caroline, is they want outcomes or they want a transformation. And so if you talk about that, so let's talk about tradespeople for an example. So I don't want a tradesperson. I don't want a tradesperson. Do you know why? Because they never turn up on time. They're always more expensive than they say they will be. They leave a shit ton of mess all over my house. All those things about those not the tradespeople we work with.
I was going to say, hang on, I know we work some really good trades.
100%.
They're amazing.
No, but my point is that that's what people think about trades, right?
Yeah.
So if I was to go out and be a plumber, an electrician, or a carpenter or whatever, the last thing I would do would be to distribute myself as a tradesperson.
Yeah.
Right? But what I would put myself out as is somebody that solves problems. We solve your plumbing problems. We solve your electrical issues.
Yeah.
We make your house, nicer, better, cleaner, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Right? So, I think if you can speak in that kind of language where you're talking about what's the transformation or what's the outcome, because what do people want? They want clarity. they want less stress,
Less stress.
and they want the problem to go away.
Yep.
Okay. So there's 3 levels of doing that. Hit me with them. What's level 1?
Level 1 is functional. What is that? What's the service? What are the deliverables? Where does most of the business stay?
Yep. And that's, people do get caught up in that, like you were saying before. I'm an electrician, I'm a dentist, or whatever. It's like
Almost the stereotypes of what is out there.
I mean,
as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Mark Beats from Barton's always says, right, I don't sell cars, we sell dreams.
Yeah.
Right? You know, the reality is they sell cars. That's the functional level of it, right?
Yeah.
They sell cars. But the next level up is that they don't stay in that functional thing. They move on to the next thing. So if we're talking about somebody who is a dentist, as you used before, they're not a dentist. They help people have beautiful smiles or have healthy
gums.
Healthy gums, yeah, exactly. All right, so number 1 is functional. Where do we go next?
Emotional. How do they feel? At the end of the day, we buy and sell things based on emotions.
Yep.
We definitely buy things based on emotions. We don't just sort of, like you were saying, go, I'm going to get a mortgage today.
No, but they do wake up and...
That's not emotional.
No, that's right. But they do wake up and go, do you know what? I've been walking past that dream home down the road and it's time I did something about it. Or I actually want to set my kids and grandkids up for intergenerational wealth. I need to buy some investment property. So
Yeah.
that's really what they'll do. They'll tap into that as opposed to, you know, let me sell you a mortgage.
Yeah. That's in the property, even with property. The property becomes the vehicle.
Yes.
And, you know, the outcome is essentially the protection. So how those kids are going to feel about being protected when they're older.
Yes, it's a really good point, actually, because obviously, you know, I'm the CEO of the Metropole Group. We're involved in property. Obviously, what we do is part of that group, but we've got investment properties. But I don't really think of them as I'm going to go and buy myself an investment property so I can tell everybody I've got investment properties. For me, that was never about that. It was, I'm going to get some investment properties so you and I can have a comfortable retirement.
Yeah.
And then so that the kids, well, actually Nick's here, bugger the kids, so the grandkids can have, you know, something that gives them a good start in life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what, I mean, okay, here's a good example. We've got a little trust fund for all the grandkids. If somebody come and said to me, oh, Mike, you need to buy a trust fund. Well, I don't want to buy a trust fund. I don't want to buy a trust fund. But instead what Stephen Horton did was, listen, let's set something up so that when your grandkids turn 18, they've got a really good kickstart in life. Like,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. I'll buy that. I'll buy that all day long. Thank you.
Yeah. And you think, okay, that'll be great. It'll give them a great start to, you know, university. It'll mean that they can afford to go to uni. It'll mean that they can afford tools if they decide to do a trade or if they need to travel for their career. They've got a great start.
So that is the emotional thing, because
Yeah.
what we did when we bought that was it gave us confidence, relief, certainty.
Yeah.
Do you know all those things that you talk about from an emotional level? So if you're looking at what is your product, a great exercise if you've got a team, by the way, would be to sit down with your team and go, guys, what do we really sell?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it at a functional level. Now let's pull it apart to emotional level. And the emotional level is, how do we make our clients feel?
Yeah. Isn't a bookkeeper isn't selling a service of bookkeeping.
Nope.
You know, there's software that can do the bookkeeping for you.
Sure.
But they are selling peace of mind.
Well, I think they're selling peace of mind. I think they're selling time.
Yeah.
So
definitely time.
Right. So one of the things that, you know, when you and I were first in business and I said, let's get a bookkeeper in. No, I can do it myself. But we got a bookkeeper in. They did it 3 times quicker than you were doing it.
And probably better.
Well,
no, actually, not probably.
no.
They definitely were doing better.
I don't know. I think you're being a bit harsh on yourself, but they certainly did it quicker.
Yeah.
And so we didn't buy bookkeeping services. We bought time.
Yeah.
Right. It's like that Dan Martell book, Buy Back Your Time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we worked out that we can pay somebody $90 an hour and we could either spend that hour doing something that we enjoy doing, or we could make more money in that hour by doing things for our clients.
Yeah.
So the next level is to look at how do you want them to feel?
Yeah.
Would be a good way of putting it. Yep. All right, cool. Number 3.
Yeah, identifying the who. The transformation of what is the outcome, I guess, is where I'm going with
Kind of like who they become. So we go,
Yeah.
here's the functional thing we do, right? So bookkeeping is a good example. Here's the functional thing we do. We put numbers into a spreadsheet. We're a bookkeeper. Here's the emotional that you feel, but relief, certainty, confidence, right? So now if I'm shaping a message as a bookkeeper, I wouldn't go, hey, come and use Mark's bookkeeping services. I'd be going, hey, do you want to have confidence that your bookkeeping's done properly? Yeah. Do you want to have confidence that you're not going to get locked up by the ATO? or end up with a crazy ATO debt, or
Then following on to a massive accountant's bill because you've put it wrong at the
do you have this confidence? Do you want to have some relief that things are being looked after, or certainty that everything's okay, or frankly, just some time that you can go off and do whatever you want to do? That's what I'm selling.
Yes.
Yeah. And then finally, the identity, who you become.
Yeah.
So you want them to become confident, in control.
Yep. They're wanting to be the leader and they're wanting the business to run without you. Or without them, I should say.
So let's look at what we do, right? Because we've been doing this a long time now. But when I first started business coaching, if somebody said to me, what do you do? And I said, a business coach, I'd have no idea what that is. So I'd have to go through the whole explanation. Now, unfortunately, you can be a business coach after doing a 6-week course and you've got no life experience. But we don't sort of talk in terms of business. So business coaching is what we do. That's the functional thing. At an emotional level, what do? We give people back time, freedom, control, harmony.
And reassurance too.
Yeah, I mean, and harmony between each other.
Yeah.
Work-life harmony.
Yeah.
Harmony between family relationships and family dynamics, but harmony between working and living.
Yeah.
Right? So we give them get that back. And then what do we want them to become? Well, they are the leader in the business. They're in control. They've got this covered. And they become a true business owner, not just owning a job. So I used us as an example. I mean, that it could be a bookkeeper, it could be a dentist, it could be any of those things, couldn't it? What happens though, like if you're listening to this and going, yeah, that's all good, but I don't know, my clients know what I do. They know what I deliver. So what's the issue then? Why don't I just keep saying that I'm a bookkeeper?
Because you are a bookkeeper like everybody else.
Yeah.
If you can work out what your product is, look at it from an emotional point of what your product is, you can then target that particular group out in the market. You can be more specific and really channel into the outcome that you're going to be able to get people so that they will buy from you quicker.
Yeah, and I reckon the other thing too is if you don't get this right, you're going to stay in the low value market. You're just, you're in that red ocean, essentially. Okay, so how do we fix it? If we've got somebody listening to this now going, okay, I'll take on board what you say. I need to define my product better. I need to think about the emotional aspect, or I need to think about what it is that you want people to become by doing business with you.
Yeah.
What are the things we need to do? How do we do it?
Define the transformation.
Yep.
Definitely need to do that one.
Yep.
Know who it is that we help.
Yep.
What the transformation from the problem over to the result.
Yep.
And that was when we were talking about, the business owner, they're overwhelmed. Hey, you're overwhelmed. Let's get this clear, and then they can be in control.
Yeah.
Transformation.
I think if you want to do this with your team, I reckon there's probably, 2 or 3 questions you can ask them. So, I mean, I'd kind of start with, what's the problem we solve?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And then I'd probably think about what stress do we remove? Because now you're digging into the emotional aspect of it. And then I think the other thing is, what does life look like for our clients after they've started working with us or finished working with us, or while they're, if it's a long-term thing like it is for us in our industry, what does life look like for them? And I think in service businesses, if you can define those 3 answers, you're well on your way to being able to set yourself apart in the marketplace.
Yeah. Yep. I think wrapping up here, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's look at stop selling. Stop selling the fact that you're an accountant, or stop selling your title as such, and start selling your solution.
So I reckon what you take out to the marketplace and the conversations you have both internally and externally, so with your alliance partners, with your referral partners, with your clients, with your marketing, but with your team as well.
Yeah.
It's about stop selling what you do and start working with what's the outcome, how will people feel, and who do they become?
Yeah.
What's life like afterwards?
Yep.
Yeah, get that right, and I reckon you'll really start to set yourself apart out in the marketplace, and people will start coming to you. There's less of a chase going on in terms of what you do from a marketing perspective, and more people coming and seeking you. Nobody's going to come and seek a bookkeeper, but someone's going to come looking for someone who's going to take away all this stress and give them that lifestyle back, if you like.
Yeah, great session.
Who would have thought that bookkeeping was a lifestyle business? But you know what? If you're a bookkeeper listening to this, it's exactly what you're in. You're in the lifestyle business. Hey, Caroline. Thanks for that. Good stuff. This has been the Family in Business podcast. And until we chat next time, please make sure you spend time with those who matter most.